After a mass shooting that left 50 people dead at a New Zealand mosque, the New Zealand Parliament voted to ban most semi-automatic and assault rifles in the country, just less than a month after the attack. Our current administration has not taken such action, allowing threats and attacks to continue, not only in public places, but in schools near and far. Stockbridge High School is just one of the many schools that have been threatened by gun violence. Here's what the students at SHS have to say. Okay, what is your name?
Logan Connolly.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
And how old are you?
17.
Would you say that you feel safe at school?
I feel genuinely safe. I don't think it's because the school's locked down. I just feel like, which is a really bad assumption to have. I assume that since our school is so small that nothing's really going to happen. Like, we're too small of a school to have the things that happen to bigger schools.
Okay. Have you ever felt unsafe during school?
There was the one time we had we had a shooting threat, and it wasn't necessarily the shooting threat that scared me. It was the day after they gave us a day off, and the Parkland shooting happened, and it was kind of like an eye-opener, like, okay, well, there was a threat the day before, and we had school off for that day. That could have been us. So.
Okay. Do you think that there's a correlation between bullying and the threats that have occurred at our school?
I feel that it's a combination of things. I feel bullying is a very big part of it as well, but I also feel like social media plays a part. Like back in the days of our parents, before handheld technology was a thing, before computers were foldable and they actually filled up a room. You didn't bring that home with you. When you went home, that was your family and that was it. But I feel now that it's so available. You see everyone's opinions all the time. You can't really escape people's opinions in your own little safe space because it's everywhere.
What is your name?
I'm Brianna Sallier.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
And how old are you?
I'm 16.
Even though you have been bullied, do you still feel like you're safe within the school?
Yeah.
And has there ever been a time where you felt unsafe at our school?
Well, definitely when the bomb threats and stuff happened last year, and then the gun threat that happened this year. And I didn't really feel unsafe for myself, but for my family that lives here, because I have a bunch of siblings throughout this school. Not siblings, but family members. And I just didn't feel safe for them.
Okay. Do you think that there's a correlation between bullying and the threats that have happened at our school?
Yeah, definitely.
And why do you think that is?
Because really the people who have done threats for the school, they were people who were bullied. They were people who were picked on, or they were people picking on other people. I don't know what goes through their heads when they do it, but I can safely say it's been people who've been picked on throughout their entire life here.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the way our country handles school shootings?
I mean, I'm pro-gun. I think that it's not the guns, it's the people.
Mm-hmm.
So really, they could do more, but they also could just do the same thing they do now and everything would be fine.
Okay. Do you think that creating stricter laws for purchasing and storing guns could help reduce the amount of gun violence we see within our country?
To be honest, I feel like it'd cause more.
And why is that?
Because telling people they can't have something makes them want it more. So telling somebody who already has something going on with their head will make them be like, oh, I can't have it, I want it more now. And they'll find a way to get it.
What is your name?
My name is Caleb Adkins.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
I'm in 11th grade.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Do you think that there is a correlation between bullying and the threats that have occurred at our school?
Yeah, I do to an extent. I feel that bullying has kickstarted it, but that's not the main reason that it happened.
Okay. And do you take the threats to our school seriously?
I do to an extent. The first one or two, whatever it was, I did for sure. And then this most recent one, I did not because of the closeness of time that they were together and just how the threats were brought across.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the way that our country handles school shootings?
I feel that the country's handled it okay. Sure, could they have done a little bit better? Sure. But I feel that it's not the country's responsibility to take actions take responsibility for the actions of these school shooters or the threats given to the school.
What is your name?
My name is Samantha Argento.
And how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
And what grade are you in?
I am a junior, 11th grade.
Have you ever personally been bullied while going to school here?
Yes, I have. Back in 8th grade when I was in high school. It was pretty bad for about 2 years.
And did that ever make you feel like unsafe while you were at school?
Yes. I was not very smart about it. I didn't tell an adult. My bully would pretty much threaten my life, and I still didn't say anything, so yeah, I was pretty afraid.
Is there any other times that you felt unsafe while at school?
Yes.
When?
There's been a few bomb threats, and I don't feel like it would happen, but when you hear stuff, people threatening your school, I'm gonna be scared. Like, it's not, yeah, it's scary. I just want to come here and eat and learn.
Do you think that there's a correlation between bullying and the threats that have occurred?
Yes, 100%.
And why do you think that the kids that have been bullied have made threats to the school?
I think that every brain is wired differently, 100%, but when I got bullied, it channeled a certain type of anger. I would never go and hurt somebody, but I felt that type of anger and resentment towards people, so I feel like those whose brains are wired in a certain way, once they get picked on, they get that bullied, they channel that anger, they're going to take it out in a different way. They're going to get angry, they're going to want to do something about it, they're going to want to feel in control, they're going to want to feel dominant like this bully did to them, so I really do think it correlates.
Have you taken the threats to our school seriously?
Yeah.
If I told you that every day 100 Americans are killed by guns, would that make you take them more seriously?
Take what more seriously?
The threats to the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm a constitutionist, like I believe in all these rights, but it's still ridiculous. No one should be bringing a gun into school and shooting it up. Like, I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat. It's not right.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the way that our country handles school shootings?
That's so hard for me to answer because there's no way to handle that, because you can arm the teachers, but then there's going to be all that debate, there's going to be all these problems, but bad people are going to be bad, and if you say, because they're shooting up a school anyways, it's a no-gun zone, so I honestly do not know how to answer that question, because bad people are going to be bad anyways. We ban guns, they can't get their hand on a gun, they're going to hit people with rocks, like if they want to do something, they're going to do something, so.